Welcome, everybody. My name is Jeff Willis. I've got with me today Kevin Deere and Sarah Schneider, and I think Vivian and Michelle are also with us, a couple of our training specialists. So they're without video and without sound at the moment. We'll call on them in an embarrassing way later on in the presentation. So welcome. Thanks so much. For those that came to the very first sneak peek, Kev will talk a little bit about what we did in that last session, just to remind you. For those that didn't, we'll also make sure that you know that there's a recording of that session available so you can catch up later and watch the first recording after you've been in and watched this second one live. So this is our last sneak peek before we launch. We are now into that kind of crunch time, and you'll be seeing a couple of other updates from us, one on March 11th, one on March 25th. Everybody here will be talking about those dates a number of times over the course of the hour we have together. But, you know, one of the things I did want to mention to everybody before I hand it over to Kevin is that we've been doing weekly training sessions. I think, Sarah, you've been leading them on historical deals. And what we want to do is we want to put everybody's mind at ease that although you can extract your data out of Nexa and Client Manager, and your plan is to import it into Velocity, we've also, if you're a Velocity user, got all of that historical data sitting for you in your historical deals section. So what Sarah's running in her training sessions is how to clean that up, how to use your merge contact tool and a few other things to get yourself well set up in advance of our launch for making sure that the data you've got is good. Now, that doesn't mean it's not still a good practice to take that data out of the other source, import it in. There won't be any collision. We've provided for that in our framework, but we will give you that opportunity to start working through these historical deals and set yourself up right so that when it comes time to opt your customers into various campaigns, that you'll be able to do so. The import tool is going to be coming on March 11th. That's our plan. So anything you've already taken out or planning to take out of Nexa or Client Manager through their tools, we'll have a way for you to bring it in as an import tool. So before I hand it over to Kevin, what I am going to just say to a few people is just a couple of housekeeping things is that we're going to try our best to answer the Q&A box. So we'd really like it if people have questions and are hoping to have them answered for the group during the odd pregnant pause during this presentation, you put them in the Q&A. Some of them will also answer in writing in the Q&A section where possible. So it'll be one of those two things, either verbally or a response. We would ask you to make the question specific to what we're talking about today, as opposed to just Velocity in general. So about the CRM, if possible. And we will probably cover a few things, but you'll think of the question before we cover that. So we'll let you know it's coming up as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Kev. Give us a bit of a brief sense for what we did last time and show us a little bit about what we're going to do this time.
Sounds great, Jeff. Thank you very much. And thanks everyone for joining us this afternoon. Last session, we covered really a snapshot of what the new CRM is going to look like. First and foremost, we took a look at the home page, and that's this page you can see on the screen with the agenda. The CRM homepage was really meant to give you that snapshot of all your current active campaigns and then the different types of campaigns that you're running. So we've broken the campaign types into different segments. They could either be contact related, which means anyone in your database that you want to talk to, whether it be for rate bulletins, newsletters, birthdays, happy holiday emails. Those are all contacts that you're going to communicate with. Then we also have property campaigns. Think of all that hard work that you've done over the years of gathering application after application. And many of those applications have other properties that the clients own that you didn't mortgage. Our CRM allows you to dig into those other properties and start communicating to them for mortgage anniversaries and term maturities right off the get-go. So you've created sales opportunities that are going to just help you day in and day out. And last but not least, we have deal-specific campaigns that you will be able to run. So deal-specific campaigns could be, hey, I just got my deal approved and I want to send a note to the referral partner and the customer. And those notes could either be by email or text or a different channel that you choose. So that leads me into the channels that we'll be communicating on through our CRM. Those channels are email and SMS, just like I said, but we're also going to give you social media channels to communicate to. So direct messaging through Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or other systems like that. We'll also have stay in touch programs for the networks that have them today. So like an MCC, they do have a stay in touch program where there's snail mail that goes out to them, magazines, that type of thing. That will also be available through the Velocity CRM and the process that we've created. The additional screens that we did cover were our console page being the next one. And the console page was really about your reporting. How many campaigns are going out, what campaigns they are, who's received them, who's opened them, who's read them. So it's really your reporting piece where you can see things at a more granular level. And then we also talked about the activity piece. So one of the things we heard from our steering committee was that people really wanted to be able to control or have the ability to stop something from going out if they didn't want to go out any further. So the activity page allows you to do that. It allows you to approve things to go out. You can set them to be automatically approved just to go, but you still have the ability within 24 hours to stop something from going out if that person, they canceled a deal, you didn't update the status, and you didn't want that deal campaign to go out anymore. So you'll have that ability through the activity page. The next process that we talked about actually got a lot of buzz, and that was our new closeout process. Many people felt it was challenging to keep their CRM up to date because they would always have to jump into their CRM platform, look up that old deal that they have now refinanced, and have to turn off the actual CRM campaigns to that particular deal. Our closeout process really is built around making sure that the contact is the head of the actual communication piece. And under that contact, you'll have all the deals that you've ever done. While you're doing a new deal for someone, the closeout process takes you through merging. So I know Lucy asked about the merge feature. So we are actually updating our merge feature to allow you to update more information within that contact, mailing addresses, employment, assets, all that type of stuff. So that is going to be part of our new closeout process and the merge feature. After you merge it, you're able to then identify what properties remain and what do they no longer have. Then that way, when you start to get into the third piece of that closeout process, controlling your CRM, you can turn on and off easily right from the deal you're currently working on, any old deals or any other contact communication that you want or don't want that client to receive. So the closeout process was something that people really loved and we're excited to see come out with the new CRM. And then the last piece was the contact updates. I've talked a little bit about this. So the contact page has already started to have a refresh and a reskinning. That contact page is also going to be a place where if you're talking to someone on the phone, you'll be able to see all the campaigns that are running for that individual, and you'll be able to action those campaigns from there, whether it be turn them on, turn them off, get a little more detail right within the contact page so you don't have to go search out those old deals. So we covered a lot in that first sneak peek. And again, we had great feedback, and we continue to get more and more feedback from people that continues to tweak our process. Today, what we're going to talk about is our email template creator. So Sarah's actually going to walk through how that template creator works, both in email and SMS. The nice thing about the template creator is when you come into the system, and the templates will be available March 25th, there will be networked templates already created for you along with the campaigns, as well as Velocity will also have default templates and campaigns that you can decide to turn on. So it's just, I'm ready to go. I'm going to turn it on. I like this one, and I don't have to do any work. Otherwise, you can create your own, edit our content, drag in some new images, and Cher is going to give you an example of how that works today. And then last but not least, we're going to go through our build reporting, giving you a way to reach into your database and really segment your clients, referral partners, and your contacts so you can have different communication messages go out to different groups. So that's what we're going to tackle next. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Sarah, and she's going to dive right into the email template creator.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, someone please give me a shout if you can't see. Okay, so coming up when this is released, you're going to have in your Velocity on the left-hand side down here, this Velocity CRM with the new logo. So just by clicking on that, it's going to launch you into the template creator. So again, that won't be there today. It'll be there, like Kevin said, as of the 25th. This is your new template creating page. So you can see it's got the little early bird message, as we're going to have this available before the CRM, which is set to launch April 1st, so that you have time to go in and set up your templates and get them ready for the official launch day. And you can see down here it offers both email and SMS templates. Okay, so I'm going to go and create to look at my templates, and this will show me ones that I've, oh, it's going to want me to log in again. It'll show me ones that I've already put together, as well as the system defaults that I am able to use. Okay, so templates. So this shows me ones that I've already started, already made, or if I go to create new, I would also have available brokerage ones. So created by my broker owner on the brokerage level. Office, so with my own office, we have our own branding and our own templates and themes. Network specific, so your DLC, MCC, MA, newsletters and such would be in here. And then generic themes, of course, we're going to give you some Velocity creative ones that I've actually seen an example of some of them, and they look really awesome. I have to say, they look super great, super bright and characteristic. Okay, so let's go back to look at some of the templates I've already put together. You can see I've got a new application one, first-time home buyer. Let's just jump into some of these. The little pencil icon allows me to edit. I can copy it, so if I want to work off of one that's already created and just make some changes to it. And then, of course, remove preview allows me to take a look, so what it's going to look like on my client's end, as well the share and stop sharing. So that's between Office if I'm sharing with other people in my office. Okay, so let's look under the hood here, click on the little pencil to see my actual template. So this one isn't that beautiful. I apologize. I put this together quite quickly. So imagine what you can do when you have the time and the amazing examples that defaults that we're going to provide for you. I'm sure you guys are going to put something awesome together. But just to give you an idea of what one looks like, I've got my image up here. So all these different blocks have so many customization options. It's really quite incredible. If I click here, I have the option to edit the image. So it allows me to apply filters, resize it, crop it, so I don't have to actually crop it outside of the system and then re-upload it. That's kind of a pain if you have to do that. Add text, shape, even stickers, change the corners if I want to make them rounded, change the background color. As well, with the text, you get the option to, with every box, you can change the background color, the text color, the font, if it's bolded or not. The mobile layout as well, this has to be mentioned. This actually allows you to see what it's going to look like on a mobile. So mobile devices, it's really important to meet clients where they're at nowadays. And where we're at is us as society are tending to check a lot of our emails on our phones on the go. We're not always on our desktop. So we want to make sure that when they get these emails, they still look good and professional. Otherwise, if they get it and it's just kind of a jumbled mess, then you're not really doing yourself or your brand any favors. So very important to use this mobile function to go and check out the mobile layout as well. Here allows you down with this hide element. I can hide specific ones. So I can choose, say this video, I don't think the dimensions will look very good on a mobile phone, or I just don't want it to show up on when they're checking on a mobile. I would simply just click on it and turn off the mobile viewing. So these options allow you to decide whether it's included in the template on just a desktop, on just a mobile, or on both. Okay, so this block here, this is the, let me just show you the blocks. This is the menu. So this little guy is really cool. He allows you to have different, like 3 different items on the same line, and you can choose if you want those items to be just links, or what I've done, icons and images. So I've got the image with the link below. So this allows it to be more stacked and more design options there. Video here. So to add these is just a matter of dragging and dropping. Literally couldn't be easier. So I've gone ahead and added a video in this one. And if I click on it, you see the customization options that I just simply put the link in. So super easy to add. Choose the thumbnail. So if I don't like this default image here, I can choose a different one. I can align it however I want. Again, mobile layout, changing the size. Responsive, this is something really important to pay attention to. So the responsiveness is basically, it'll automatically scale its contents and elements to match the screen size on which it's viewed. Okay, so it keeps images from being larger than the screen width and prevents visitors on mobile devices from needing to do extra work to read your content. So that's an important feature to make sure is always turned on, and it will be turned on by default. Down here I have my social media, very important now. Everyone's on social media, especially the Facebook and Instagram. So with the blocks here, you have the social aspect. So I simply just dragged and dropped that down. And then when I click on it, you see all the customization options here. So again, background color, I can choose if I want it to be colored, black and white, gray, or even squares with no background. You see all the different options here. There are tons, really, more than you probably need. As well, I can then choose which ones I want. So if I don't have YouTube, in fact, I just go ahead and delete that, okay? Or if you want to add other ones, it'll let you pick from, we have so many options of social sites. So there's definitely no chance that you'll run into a social media platform that you're on that we don't have available. Okay, so pretty standard. You just build your blocks like a game of building blocks. Just drag and drop until you're happy with it. Play around with it, change your colors, change your logos, change your banners, change your images. If I go to the appearance tab now, you can change, for example, the width. So it's got a standard width, but if you wanted to change that up, you can, and change up all the responsive design, background images, spacing. You can add stripes, the buttons. There's just so many options here.
Sarah, can I just add something here?
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know that when they first come into the Velocity CRM, you're going to have a tremendous amount of templates available to you that the networks have created, that we've created. I think we mentioned that up front. What we really want to demonstrate today is give you a sense of empowerment of what you can do with the editor in the event you want to change those things, whether it be the visuals, as you said, Sarah, the social links, other things that are in there. But we don't want anybody to feel that they have to do this in order to get started. This is really to give you more control, more power, and allow you to create a more sort of personalized approach to what gets created. And that's what we wanted to show you today with this editor, is the power that you've got. And that's what we heard from brokers and agents in spades, is they wanted to feel that they could make this kind of a little form of art for them in terms of what they delivered to their customers and referral partners. So just want to make sure that that's clear, that this is not something you'll have to do, but it's quite a cool thing to do if you're interested in doing it.
Yeah, great point. So we don't want you to be intimidated and think, oh, I have to go and build these all as of the 25th and have them ready for the 1st. That's not it at all. You'll have some defaults there that you can totally just insert your logo, change up a few colors, make it your own. Or if you are really creative and you know, are a Picasso and want to go ahead and create your own, then you have the freedom to do such. So just giving you choice. One cool thing here, if I click on this little eye to see the preview, I can actually drag this screen view in to see how it will respond to different screen sizes. And then therefore, if I think, for example, I have too many social links and when I dragged it down, they became stacked, I could just choose to fix that up. Okay, so let's go over to our SMS. So that was the email templates. SMS, awesome new feature. I'm really excited for the ease of integrating with mobile that we're creating here. So making it so that you can have scripted, automated text messages, as well as make sure that if you're sending emails via mobile to people who will be checking on their mobile phones, that they'll be completely mobile responsive. Text messaging is really the most intimate medium nowadays. You text with your friends, your best friends, your family all the time. Personally, I always have my phone on me, so text is the best way to get a hold of me. I never like having that little number there saying I have an unread message, and I always have it on the go so I can respond wherever I'm at. So texting is just a great way to really get in front of your clients and get their attention. So here we go. We've got 2 little defaults I have set up here, just to click to edit or copy or create your own. And you can see I have the text, so scripted, whatever I want to write to my client to set up a signing date. The merge text field, which this isn't only available with text, is also on email, allows to auto insert. So this is auto insert first name. On the email option, there's a drop down that allows quite a few auto insert options, such as mortgage amount, last name, etc. And we're going to be coming up with more there as well. So what you see in there right now will not be the total list. Okay, anything else to mention with the text templates, or should I move on to just show the building process?
I think you're good, Sarah. I just want to let everybody know that, like SMS is becoming such a big part of everybody's life. I know a number of people that are on this call are probably already using SMS in their daily interaction within Velocity to their customers, because we can track it all in their contacts, communication history, as well as in the deal. So really, really cool. But, we're going to get more eyeballs if you can send very little updates to your customers and maybe even drive them back to various pages that you have on your website or content that you might create in your news section of a website for them to get more than just a little tidbit. But I think you're going to find over time, we're going to get more and more eyeballs using SMS and communicating with people through the mobile phone than you are through sending them into their email inbox. So, we are really excited about this becoming one of our key delivery channels in this very first iteration of CRM.
Yeah, good. So creating a new template, just to show you kind of what the bare bones look like, you'll have the option to choose from ones that are already created and just go ahead and kind of copy and make it your own. Just click the little pencil guy, name it whatever you want. And then you'll start off with a blank slate or whatever it was available there. Maybe it was your Office pre-built one, so it wouldn't be blank. And the structure is where you essentially put in the basics. So if I want to have a heading up here, maybe, and I just choose the basic layout. So I want to have multiple images on this line, then following by this, and you just go ahead and build your bare bones. And then once you're ready, you can go down to the blocks, and that's where you drag and drop the blocks to build exactly what you want it to look like. So let's say I want to have 4 images on this line, but here I want a long text with a little video next to it. And at the bottom, I want my social media. So you can go ahead and really shape and mold it to look exactly like what you want, exactly be as creative as you want. And the same thing we saw before with appearance. So the email width, the image, the colors that you're using, the buttons, mobile formatting, etc. Okay, do we have any questions? Anything I missed? Any questions coming in on the templates?
Lots of questions, fast and furious.
Fast and furious.
I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can type. But I did have one here from Chris. He's asking about if there's an opportunity to text a voice note message as a template, as opposed to a typed in SMS. Anybody got any commentary about that?
Yeah, so right now SMS is limited to text only. We haven't done any MMS features or so. Text, it's just characters that you can send along or links to things to click on. So if your voice note is a link, you have it pre-saved somewhere, you could send it as a link that they could click on to hear that voice note. So that is a different way that you could do it.
Okay.
Okay. I do have a couple samples of our templates if we want to show them that we had just circulated to a few people this week.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. All right.
I've had a few people that ask about the idea of using your phone as your phone number as your SMS number. We've gotten this a lot since we brought out the SMS. And Kev, maybe you want to give people the reason as to why it is they're assigned a new number and the whole concept of where you can create perhaps some collision when you don't do that.
Right. So one of the things that we felt was very, very important was to have a whole communication log within the deal and within the contact card of the client. So in order to do that, it was best to assign a new number to every individual. If you look at other platforms where you don't have one number, it goes out en masse, like whether it's I'm sending a note to Jeff and I'm sending a note to Sarah. If they respond, I don't get their individual notes back separately. It comes back in one long string and I'm trying to differentiate what number it came from. Having your individual number the way that we've set it up allows it to actually come back into the actual contact, so you have that whole communication log. So that was one thing that we felt was very important for audit purposes. And speaking to broker owners and compliance officers, again, they agreed at the time that was probably the best way to go about it. So that is a feature that we think will come in very handy, because let's face it, the number of times that we change our phone, we lose our phone, you end up losing the history of your text messages. And as Sarah mentioned earlier, so often nowadays we're communicating information that's quite important via text. And if you don't have that phone anymore, you don't have anything for CYA. So this way it allows it to be right within your deal. So, okay. So what I do have up on the screen here is a few of the sample templates that or generic templates that will be available within the Velocity systems. So here's some birthday ones. You'll see they can vary by design and color. The merge fields show where the client names are going to go in. You have your unsubscribe button, and there will be different unsubscribe options. It'd be just like any marketing piece that you get. I just want to unsubscribe from this type of message, or I want to unsubscribe from all communication. Your clients will have that available to them. On the right-hand side of my screen here, you also have ones that show about the closeout process. So you're doing a deal, they're coming to the end, and you're now into the closing process. Here's some things that they could do. So just a couple samples that I wanted to throw out there.
Sorry, Kevin, we have quite a few questions about the responses for text messaging.
Yeah.
So where do those go? Those will be tracked in the contact page, as well as in the deal screen in the system contact history section. And you'll also receive an email notification letting you know when you have a response. So what's really cool is on the contact page, it looks like almost like your iMessage on your phone screen. So you're able to just type in the instant, in real time, and have like basically a texting conversation with your client right on your computer.
Yeah, you're basically seeing your little bubbles of the back and forth right on the contact page, and it allows you to really keep it separated on what you say to people. So, someone's asking, could this replace our maximizers? Okay, someone answered that one. Fast typer. Okay, should we move on to build reporting, or is there any other questions, Jeff, that you saw that we should maybe address to the group?
No, I'm trying to get them answered. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people, because it's new, don't really understand SMS, some of the constraints that we deal with. And I think that as we get past demos and into real live training, as CRM rolls out, people will get a better sense for how it works and how it works separately from the SMS technology they use on their phone. So, that's fine. I'm answering these as they come up. So I think we're pretty good. I think it'd be great if we could transfer now over to Build. I think people, based on our last session, really took well to what we showed them in Build. So let's make sure we give it enough time.
Okay. All right. That being said, hopefully you guys can see my screen now. You can see Build reporting on it. We good? Okay. So in Velocity, just after we launch CRM, build reporting will be available. It's going to be available under your report section on the left-hand menu. It's going to call build a report. What build is it allows you to reach into your database and segment your clients. And if you saw the first sneak peek that we did, everything in this new CRM, we've all done around sort of 3 simple steps. So first of all, again, in the reporting, you're going to set up your report. Your second one is you're going to choose what filters you want to filter on to narrow down what you're looking for within your database. And then the third step is really choosing your report layout. So I'm going to show you sort of what that looks like here. I have also created 2 reports that I'll show you how easily they pop up. But when I go to create a report, if I'm a brokerage and I have multiple offices, if I'm the brokerage administrator, I could do reports on either all the offices within the brokerage, selecting specific ones, and then I could also do it for specific agents. So for yourselves as individual agents, it'll just pop up for your own reports. So if I were to go in and choose a person to do it on, and I just type my report name, and then I would choose the type of report that I want to do. The types of reports are really going to be broken down into contacts, leads, deals, and other properties. Okay. So I can, based on what I choose, it will reveal to me what filters are available for the actual process. So if I choose deals, I can decide what statuses I want. I can choose my application type. Maybe I want to just focus on pre-approvals. And then I can choose my date ranges that I want to focus on to narrow that report down. And then I have my 4 filters available. So I have my borrower filters where I've got these 6 different filters right here, whether it be credit score or age or dwelling type. But then I also have additional advanced filters where I can say, hey, was this person a first-time home buyer? Do I want to focus on a specific postal code region or choose a different type of income? I then go into the property information. And again, I've got values, the different types of occupancy, my advanced filters again. As you can see, we've got quite a few fields that you can really dig deep on. You get into your product, which is basically your lender and product information. You can do things by whether they're insured. You can do it by loan to value. And then you can also choose things on referral partners. So we're giving you lots of information that you can really drill down on to dig in your database. One that I set up earlier was a CHIP mortgage request. So the way this report works is I'm going to reach into all of my deals. I'm going to look for people between the ages of 25, I just chose 25 to 60, that they currently own their home. I go into the property and the product information. I said, I'm really focusing on my loan to values that are between 40 and 70%. And then I go and generate my report. So when I go generate my report, I can decide what information that I want to see in this report because I have the ability to extract it as an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file. So if I'm just creating a list of people that I want to send communication to, I don't need to choose as many of these filters, but we give you that option. Once I go to generate that report, I can either save it. Sorry, my bar at the bottom here is hiding the page, or I can generate the report. There is also going to be a button that allows you to send it to an audience list for the CRM. The audience list is where you're going to, or who you're going to communicate to within that group. What is, in my opinion, great about these reports is once I've saved this report, I can continue to come back to it monthly and it will show me everyone in that group again. So in this case, when I go to generate this report, it's going to tell me, I think I had 32 people that were available for this CHIP mortgage communication. Yeah, 32 results. If I come back a month from now and I've created an audience list out of these 32 people, I may have 10 more people that are available to communicate to 30 days from now. When I send it to that audience list again, it's going to just add those 10 people. So it's not like you're adding or doubling up on the communication to your original group. So it's a great way to make sure that you really target the people that you want to target. Okay. You'll have that ability to export to a CSV file, as I mentioned as well before. So this is one great way you can dig into it. The other report that I did was really focusing on leads. So I have my contacts in my database. They're a lead right now. And I know that I've got a bunch of first-time home buyers. So I decided to build a lead first-time home buyers report. When I just go to generate that report, I have two people that I'm going to communicate with that show me that they are first-time home buyers and they're 41 years of age. So now I know I can go and target them with a certain type of communication. So you can really dig in and go deep with your clients and make sure that you find the business that's there in an easy manner. So it's, not only do you have a system that you work on day to day for submissions, you also have now a system that's also going to find your business just by you doing your submissions within the system. So, okay.
I think one of the things that's so cool about this, Kev, is that now all of a sudden everybody feels a lot more vested in ensuring that what they take in from a client is fully complete. Like regardless of, they might be doing their subject property, but they maybe own other properties. Well, all of a sudden that is now a new prospective piece of business. So the maturity dates, the mortgages, the details of the other properties become so much more valuable because they now sit inside of your database and they become an opportunity. So the more fully complete you have things, the better off this data set is, meaning that you really can use this tool, Build, for data mining to your heart's content. And when you think about different lenders and the specials they come out during the year, you'll sometimes go, who would be the ultimate client for this product? You'll be able to figure out who that ultimate client is in your database and be able to reach out to them with a very specific message. And that's what we're all trying to divine in CRM, is to talk to clients about their circumstance, not about a general circumstance, but something that'll actually solve their problems. And that's what we're really trying to give you with Build.
Yeah. There's actually a good question I saw here that someone asked about when you're generating multiple lists of audiences for different types of reports, could that person be on multiple lists and does the system tell you? The system will tell you. It's also going to be all right in that contact list of those people of the campaigns that they're part of. And when that communication is going to go out, you'll be able to see who that communication is going to go to right from your activity piece inside the Velocity CRM. So it gives you lots of information. Okay. So with that being said, that is our Build reporting. I see a lot of comments. This is awesome. It's excellent. So I think people are pretty pumped about this. Is there anything that Michelle or Sarah, you want to add before we just maybe open it up to a couple more questions before we sign off?
I do have a question in here that's worth looking at because it's in relation to these reports.
Sure.
Tracy's asking, are they date stamped? So we can see the date that the lead comes in. So the idea is to see what is kind of current and what's not current.
Yeah, so when you're actually going in to generate the reports, I'll just jump into this other one. You will actually have date types that you'll be able to choose. So on a lead, you'll have a lead entry date. So you'll be able to say lead entered from between this period and this period, and it will actually display on the list generator. So I know, Tracy, that's something you've been looking for a while, and we thought about that as we were building this out. So it's going to be there for you. So
I think one of the things that's worth sharing here, Kevin, is that, and not everybody knows this, I think we've mentioned it in previous sessions, but this product is really an amalgam of about 25 to 50 people, plus all the kind of informal market research that we've done over the last few years. But right now we've probably got a steering committee that's, what do you figure, Kev, about 24 people?
Yeah.
So we're really building this with the idea of input from network, input from brokers, input from assistants, our own training team, having interacted with thousands of brokers and agents across this country. So we really tried to build this with the idea that all of us are smarter than each of us. And we won't have it figured when we do it April 1st. We promise you that. But it'll be so much better than the things you've come to know that have been in market for so long. So I think what we'll do is we'll ask people to lean in, really become masters of build, really become masters of the email template and the SMS templates. And then you'll see more and more layered in, not dissimilar to how we train people on velocity when they first transition. Start with submissions, and then we'll lay in all the other cool things that you can do to build a really cool client experience. So we're going to try very much to try to boil the ocean here on the first day, but we'll continue to get better as we kind of move along.
Yeah. So I have seen a couple of questions here in the chat about the import tool. So the import tool we mentioned earlier, it was for your Nexa data and your client manager data. That tool is also going to be available for mass updates of contacts, other information. You'll have a custom ability so you can just match fields to import into your database en masse. It will also have a Castle opt-in field, so you can mass opt-in everyone for Castle, and then or also do it individually, and if you don't want to do everyone all at once. So it does give you lots of flexibility. So again, the Nexa Client Manager update will be available on March 11th. And then we're going to have custom piece available by the 25th. So, okay. Yes. So Jeff also brought up a fact about our contractors. So we are going to have a landing page that's going to be up and running in the next little while. I think Sarah has some dates on that for us. We are going to have individual contractors that you will be able to hire that will help you out setting up your CRM and getting you ready to go. Those contractors are just going to be getting trained shortly here. They should be available starting in the middle of the month. And that their information will be available on that landing page. So, okay.
I have some people who are talking about perhaps moving away from CRM programs like Maximize or Jungo has been mentioned a few times. They want to make sure that they're equipped with, one, being able to transition simply, but two, also ensuring that whatever data they're taking out of those other systems are incorporated into our ability to import. So Kev, maybe give a little bit of detail on how we might be able to serve those people. And then maybe also tell them how, if they choose to stay with their own CRM, how our Velocity API out makes life a lot easier for them to keep those things up to date and populated, should they choose to go that route.
Yeah, great questions. So again, with that importer tool, if you have an existing CRM that you have, the extract that you can take out of that CRM program you will be able to upload with our custom upload or custom importer tool that will be available. That custom importer tool just allows you to match your column headers with how it should go into Velocity. So you could have first name, last name. You just select from a drop-down first name, last name for each column, and away you go. So it will bring the data in, and you can map it over to the appropriate spots. For those people that want to stay on their CRMs, as Jeff mentioned, we do have an API out that is available. And we've already had quite a few people leaning in and hooking up to it. So they, whether you're a Zoho user or a Salesforce user, you can actually have our API pull the information out into your system automated. So you're no longer having to do extracts, as many people do, of a CSV file and upload it into your Salesforce or whatever. So you have an automated CRM that you can tap into. All those tools are available on our Newton.ca website. I'm just going to pull it up for you, people. And it's under our developers tab in the left-hand menu. And with our developers tab, you will see that there's a Velocity API in and a Velocity API out. And we're completely transparent, and we give you all the documentation up front on how to connect to it. People just have to apply for an API key right within their Velocity settings section, and you're off to the races. So if you have your tech team or your CRM people that you use, all they need is this documentation to get started to connect you to our Velocity API.
And Kev, it's fair to say we're already talking to people that we know serve the mortgage community in Canada already, so that it's kind of more plug and play. So if you want to just, like whether it be Blue or Jungo, those are a couple already that we're in discussions with to make it simple for people, right?
Yeah, that's right. I say Sean Allen here has typed in that Matrix is proud supporter of Velocity, and they use their own CRM, and they find the API works great. Sean's group was one of the first ones to plug into our API in. So fantastic supporters, and thanks for that, Sean. So, all right.
I have one more question. It talks from Joanne asking about the current CRM templates. Now, I'm assuming she's talking about her current CRM templates in Nexa or Client Manager,
Correct.
as opposed to other market systems. They want to know about them being carried forward to the new CRM, or will they have to recreate new templates and campaigns?
So we are replicating the types of campaigns that we have in the current Velocity CRM today within the new CRM. What people have to do is just turn off their old campaigns in the old CRM and turn on their new campaigns in Velocity. So we aren't moving them over individually. It's something that people will have to replicate, but it's not something that has to be done by April 1st. We're not turning off the old Velocity CRM April 1st. We don't want to put pressure on people, but there will be a sunset date over the next sort of 60 days after April 1st that will be sunsetting the old Velocity CRM. So, but we will do everything to help you make sure that transition is smooth, Joanne.
Okay, great. I think we're just about up on our hour. I just want to let everybody know that this is the last sneak peek that we're going to give. We're now up against it. So the import tool, March 11th, the template editor, and hopefully also the campaign editor will be in market on, I shouldn't say hopefully, it will be March 25th. So that's the next sort of week and a half, and then 2 weeks following that. So you're going to be seeing a lot of communications from us in the next little while, the next few weeks. We hope to also have kind of a one pager on for those that want to use contractors and want to have them share the recordings with them or other people on their team. We'd like to have sort of a landing page that's all things CRM. We are still working on that. We hope to get that out in the next few days. But providing that we can do that, that will probably be your jumping off port to register for, hey, I'd like to have somebody contact me to make this easy for me once we kind of get going so we can connect you to the right parties. And our hope is to have what, Kevin, we figure about a half a dozen people that could happily, support people and making the transition simpler.
Yeah, that's right. About a half a dozen.
Okay, great. So with that in mind, we're going to let everybody go now and enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening, depending on where in the country you are. Thanks so much for your attention. Some great questions today. We're pretty excited about where we're at. We're very close to the finish line, and we hope that we're getting you more amped up to fully engage once we get going on this. Thanks very much, everybody, and we'll see you soon. And let's just leave this up live, everybody, on our group. Let's not shut this down until we know that everybody's off and all the questions are gone. But thanks very much, everybody, and talk to you soon.
Great. Thanks, everyone.